Abyssal Lords are the best Slayer mob in the game with a very high reward drop table. Everybody always recommends just farming out some kind of mob to make some easy coin, but I'm here today to figure out how much money you could make from Abyssal Lords in RuneScape.
I've been killing Abyssal Demons for a really long time. The regular Abyssal Demons, and then a few years ago, Jagex introduced these guys. These are the Abyssal Hounds, and Abyssal Beast, and the big head honcho himself, and this cornerstone of this video, the Abyssal Lords. These guys are insane. They got really good XP, really good combat XP, and they also have a really strong chase item when it comes to Slayer, and that is the Abyssal Scourge. The Abyssal Scourge is a tier 92 whip that applies bleeds onto your targets, which allows you to have constant damage applied, and even though it is a chase item for collection log slots, it is a really strong tier 92 melee weapon that has carried myself through a number of encounters when I first got into PVM, and has a little soft spot in my little wizardly heart. So we're gonna farm out a bunch of Abyssal Lords today to see how much lutations we can get in several hours of gameplay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start the Abyssal Lords kills, and I just want to do a quick check on how many kills we are so we can be accurate. I have 17,881 Abyssal Demons killed with 2 prestige. We have the loot tracker empty here, so everything that we get should show up in this little box, as well as we currently have about 6 Triskies inside of the bank at the moment. And I'm going to try and sit here for about 1,000 kills or 10 hours, whichever one comes first. This is setup we're going into with, we have full Crypt Bloom with a Amulet of Soul, Cinder Banes, a Masket Scripture. We have Overloads, our Reservoir Potions, some Poison Blast, as well as Blessed Flash, some Teleports there, Spring Cleaner for the Alk Drops, Penance Powder, no paper, Meteorite Cannonballs, and of course we forgot to get our cannon, so we'll go ahead and grab that before we start. Then we have some of our notable drops here that we want to make sure to catch. This is what we're starting off with at 17,000 kills. And here we are. We are inside of the Sentistan Asylum, which is honestly, in my opinion, the best place to farm out the Abyssal Lords, because I think it's the best area due to how compact it is. You got a good chunk of them near each other, and then they just all kind of aggro you. I am using an aggression potion here to grab some of the ones with the farther areas, because I'm using the Odak Coil Cannon. The Odak Coil is really good here because the Abyssal Lords actually spawn up little tentacle guys that will end up just kind of attacking you, and the problem is if you use a regular ranged cannon, the ranged cannon only attacks one of them. So you want to use the Odak Coil because it can wipe out those little dudes relatively quickly as long as you're standing near it. I ended up moving away and drifting away from the cannon sometimes, and I took a little bit more damage, but if you stand right underneath the cannon, you're pretty much good to go. And then I did get a question on this last time about my ability bar. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, this is just a basic ability bar that I use for all of my AFK Mage Slayer training. I use this to farm up pretty much everything. Main thing that you want to have here, if you are going to try and copy this bar, is you have to be using Insight Fear. Unless you're killing an undead target, then you can use Crumble Undead. But you want to use Insight Fear for the Tsunami stacks when it comes with the Adread. And then from there, prop Sunshine and Chain at the top. Put Omni Power nearby so that you can drop that as much as you can. And then I use the Wand and Orb set for the bleed stacks here, because I think the bleeds do a lot more damage and you get better adrenaline control as long as you're stacking these bad boys up. And that's probably the best thing when you're doing AFK stuff, because you want to make sure you're dealing as much damage as possible, unless a specific kind of mob requires you to have some defense or whatever else. But this is what works for me, and this is what I like using. I'm using Crypt Bloom with the Animate Dead, reducing all those mage attacks, and we're sitting pretty so far. I just got done playing 3 games of ranked League of Legends. Oh my god, what a clip! The average game is around 28 to 35 minutes. How many Abyssal Demons have I killed in that time? How many dead demons have been slain by my hand? Take a guess. 1, 2, 3. We are currently at 18,496. Very close to 500. But it's like 300 kills-ish. I didn't change anything about this build, except that I actually ran out of ectoplasm, so I'm no longer getting prayer potions for the Infernal Ashes. And then on top of that, I took out I took out my Excalibur, and I took out the Enhanced Ritual Shard. Because, dude, I was running out of space for these stupid Triskelion tree fragments. These things are really nice for the Clue Scrolls, because that is going to jump our value for how much you get for this in general, and give us a chance at that Dragonstone armor, which is a rare drop from there. But, dude, I have to say, these things are super annoying when it get up the Soul Runes, the Mud Runes, and these Hydrate Bolt Tips, which I think are seriously going to add up. I'm curious to see how many we end up getting. And I took all the coins out of my coin pouch. So in that hour and a half, question mark, I've gotten about 10 mil. So not that bad. Pretty decent. And then for the XP, I can't really see how much XP I'm getting, but I am definitely, it's adding up. Ooh, we got an effigy. I never get these things anymore. These are pretty nice. There's actually a pet associated with these when you open them up. I remember when I first was like starting this game, I remember these effigies. I mean, these are the OG XP lamp. Essentially, like, you need level like 90 something plus in all of like a lot of the gathering and like support skills to be able to unlock these. Because like this one has an option like for fletching and there's wood cutting, and then you open them up and progressively get more XP, and at the end you get a lamp. Like, there's a lot of people that use effigies as a way to get if you had a level 3 account trying to get 99 Slayer, they would just do the whole thing through effigies. So, but there is a pet associated with these ones, and I want it. I haven't gotten it yet. You don't really see it that often, but that's just something that I'll hopefully get before I die. The Abyssal Lords require 115 Slayer to kill them, and you can do them in any Abyssal Demon task. It's a pretty sick task. You can actually get up to 300 if you get them assigned by Mandrith or Lanica, and you just pick regular demons. That's how you can max this out, especially if you're using the Slayer Introspection Relic, which gives you the chance to pick the minimum or a maximum for a task. And so when I ended up doing these on task, when I would do them normally, when I was going for 120 Slayer, was that I would always go for the regular demon task. I would have the preferred, and then I would always pick the regular demon, and then I would just come here to the Abyssal Demons once I had them unlocked. Beforehand, I would just do regular Abyssal Demons, but I killed a bunch of these, and I was always curious why. They were worth 8.2k Slayer XP each, making it, I think, one of the best Slayer mobs in the game to kill. But the thing with this, even though you get assigned 300 demons, you only kill 60 if you have the max amount. Reason why is because they count as 5 regular demons. However, if you are doing it on an Abyssal Lords Slayer task where it specifically says Abyssal Lords, they will only count as 1, and the maximum amount you can get assigned to you is 150. And that one Slayer task alone will net you 1.2 million Slayer XP and 500k combat XP. That is wild. And you're probably using magic as the most reliable here, but dude, that is disgusting. I never realized how much XP you would get from these guys, but it makes sense with the 115 Slayer requirement. It better be good. Here it is, our 19,500 kill, baby. Let's go. Let's put this baby in the bag. Never lucky on the wand resets. And that is it. We're done. Not another kill will be made. Not another kill. Not another kill. We're done. We're done. We're finished. Boom. 19,500. That is beautiful. Not too shabby. Let's do a price check, shall we? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we finished up the Abyssal Lords kills with a grand total of 19,500 Abyssal Demon kills. I have not killed anything else in between doing this throughout the whole duration. It took me about 2 days, starting from like 10 o'clock in the morning to like 6 p.m. and then a few hours more this morning. Add that up however you like. I'm going to say it's around 10-ish hours, because I also did it AFK when I was doing other stuff as well. Really decent. I died about 6 times doing this, mostly because I ran out of prayer, because my penance powder ran out, or I ran out of anime dead. These are really, really dangerous creatures, and I love that because it's not easily completely AFK. but you can do it reliably for a long period of time as long as you have all of your buffs up, and I really, really liked doing this method. For our total combat XP, we ended up with 1,618 Abyssal Lord kills. That is a grand total of 5,986,000 combat XP. If you were doing all of these on Slayer tasks, Abyssal Lords are the best Slayer mob in the game. If I did all of these on task, which I highly recommend that if you end up doing these on task, you would end up getting 13.3 million Slayer XP. I got 1.9 million HP XP, and then if you were going to do this while siphoning your equipment and doing some invention training, you would have only gotten 538k invention experience, and that is for 1,618 kills. Overall, pretty decent. I really like these mobs. Very, very fun. As you can tell, I enjoyed this one a lot. It was a ton of fun. They're one of the coolest looking mobs in the game. A little bit of a visual clusterfuck because there's like a billion things going on at once, but that is okay. Definitely want to take a look at how much loot we got here. I am a little sad we didn't pull ourselves out a Abyssal Scourge. That would have made this a lot bigger, but all in all, it is what it is. If we would have gotten an Abyssal Scourge, you would add an additional 68 mil to the price check, and probably around there. On drop rate, it's 1 in 10,000 for a Scourge. We were not lucky because we did these off task. But hey, that is okay. That happens. Taking a look at our total loot here, we got ourselves 528 Crimson Charms, 1 effigy, a whopping 10 blue charms, which is pretty hilarious. And then I think the biggest money-making thing here right now is either tied with the Hydrix bolts or all of the money we got from high-alking things with the Spring Cleaner. Let's go ahead and do a full price check on all these items. 3,000 soul runes, not too bad. 3.8 mil there. And then 2 mil only in all this pure essence. I'm amazed. I really thought this pure essence was going to be a lot higher, but it is what it is. We got 16 of these wines of Ceradomin from a rare drop table drop. We got 2,300 of these wine of Zamorax, 1.6 mil. The 3,000 mud runes, that's another 2.5 mil. We got some Lantidines and dwarf weeds, that's 500k right there. A mimic kill token, which is 226k. And then our Hydrix bolts ends up being an added 8 million gold. So you get most of your money from the alchemist. 52 million XP, million GP right there in the tangible loot itself. But then if you add in doing the Triskelion keys, which we ended up getting 23 of them in total. Now, mind you, I didn't pick up every single Trisk key. I tried to, but I was fighting for inventory space, and it was really, really difficult. But we ended up getting 23 of these bad boys, which is also 23 elites. An average elite casket is around 1 million gold each, so add 23 million onto that total average loot. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to be able to get this uploaded with me doing the clue scrolls, but that is the average loot for a hard clue. I will open up the loots for you guys to see, and you'll see that right here as I'm doing it. But overall, really, really good. Really like this one. Highly recommend you do it. Pretty high requirements, because if you want to AFK these, and because of the defense level of these monsters, you're going to want to have some pretty decent gear. I recommend tier 90 and up. You can use this doing a Hex Hunter bow. It is kind of harder though, because they hit so hard and there's so many mobs that it can be kind of difficult to do this with a Hex Hunter bow. But overall, really decent job. Really enjoy Abyssal Lords. So if you want to go ahead and grind yourself out some as well, the Slayer XP alone is a really good reason to bang these bad boys out. Overall, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something new today. Go do your Abyssal Lords tasks. They are too damn good. You should also go do your Rune Dragon task as well. You can go check out to see what loot you can get from the video right here. Hope you enjoyed the green screen action. I'm still very new to this. I hate tech stuff, but I did set it up because all of your support. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, all that fun YouTube jazz, and I'll see you at RuneFest.